Executive Secretary of the National Assembly Library Trust Fund, Right Honorable Henry Nwawuba. Please, a round of applause for him.
Thank you very much. The President, the uncommon President of the Senate and Chairman of the National Assembly, distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, our dear Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, PhD, Ian Zazau. For lack of time, I would like to also follow the instruction and rest on the existing and well-established protocols. I'd like to start by expressing how I feel every time I return to these hallowed chambers. Having served for 2 terms, from 2015 to 2023, I must say that it is with a deep sense of nostalgia every time I stand here and I see the men and women that we served Nigeria together under the joint task mantra in the 8th and the 9th Assembly. Mr. Speaker, I also want to join those that have spoken before me to congratulate this House for consistently and repeatedly opening up the doors of the House of Representatives to Nigerians to interrogate all those commitments that were made at the outset of the 10th House of Representatives via the legislative agenda that was released to Nigerians and all the legislative interventions that have happened between the past 3 years to date. I must say that this is quite commendable. It is a step in the right direction, and I do sincerely encourage the House to keep up the good work. The year's theme of this open week for this year, 3-year scorecard of the 10th Assembly, does indeed reflect the commitment of the leadership and members of the National Assembly, particularly the House of Representatives, to transparency, to accountability, to citizens' engagement and democratic governance. And more importantly, the open week provides an opportunity for Nigerians to evaluate the progress made in the 10th National Assembly, appreciate its legislative milestones, and strengthen the relationship between Parliament and the people it serves. You will recall that 2 years ago, we set out at the National Assembly Library when we were commissioned by Mr. President himself to bridge the gap between legislative process and the public to establish a world-class knowledge repository. Today, the National Assembly Library has grown into a leading center for legislative memory and public engagement. In this time, we have over 1 million website visitors every week to our website. We have more than 20,000 media subscribers with a combined social media reach exceeding more than 1.5 million Nigerians and a global audience. We have 8,534 legislative materials that we have digitized till date, preserving invaluable parliamentary resources. We have more than 7,000 library resources. They are all now accessible to researchers, to legislators, and students, and of course, the general public. We have more than 3,100 visitors that we have hosted. They have utilized our facilities, and we have nearly 1,000 active users utilizing our Bill Tracker platform to date. over 535,928 physical library visitors from across Nigeria and beyond have visited our library. We have more than 100 policy-oriented research papers that were published and over 100 museum artifacts that you can see that we have preserved for our parliamentary records and democratic heritage. To crown it all, the official publication of the National Assembly, which is the Legislative Digest, has been revived with over 3,500 copies that have been distributed. Today, I'm pleased to announce to this House that over the course of this open week, we shall be launching our mobile app, which I hope Chimdi is able to project on the wall so that we can see what we have put together for Nigerians to make what we do in Parliament easier to reach. It is going to be available on the iOS and the Android platforms, and through that, you can easily access our bill trackers, our e-library, our library catalog, instant registration to use the library, direct legislator access, real-time news, and many more. Over the past 2 years, the National Assembly Library has cultivated strategic partnerships and organized impactful capacity building programs, policy and legislative dialogues with both the Senate and the House of Representatives, and several other engagements. Our vision is clear: to build a world-class parliamentary knowledge institution that serves legislators, researchers, policymakers, students, and development partners, and indeed all Nigerians that seek credible legislative information. I express our profound appreciation to the leadership of the National Assembly for their steadfast support, especially the President of the Senate, distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, who spent over 3 hours with me in the library the day he visited, and of course, to the E.S. Zazao himself, the Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, PhD, GCON, for their visionary leadership and commitment to strengthening our democratic institutions and supporting the library. I also acknowledge our distinguished legislators, the clerk to the National Assembly, the management staff of the National Assembly, development partners, and the media, civil society organizations, and all stakeholders indeed, whose collaborations have continued to immensely contribute to our success. I wish us a productive open week, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Executive Secretary, Pioneer Executive Secretary, National Assembly Library Trust Fund, Honorable Henry Nwawuba. Very quickly,